Alright guys, how are we all doing? Tornado922 here. It's that time of the day again. Time to answer your questions. Thank you for the feedback you give me on this. It's absolutely fantastic. The questions you're giving me are like, they're there. Some of them, not all. Some of the questions you're giving me are a bit like, okay, but yeah, we'll work with it. So some of you would have posted these questions before others, but I'm just running down from the bottom of the list and working my way up to the very top. So we'll kick things off with, and you will have to forgive me for the pronunciations of some of your names, because some of them I will get wrong from the word go. It's just going to happen. But we start off with Justin Hammer. What's it like filming the Scouse Trainspot in 1999 in KTV videos, and what tips do you have for anyone wanting to start filming like you? Well, so I'm watching the British Touring Cast from, where was it? Bear with me. From Alton Park, so sort of like currently watching the Clio race at the moment. So filming the Scouse Trainspot in 1999 and KTV videos, it's fantastic. They're both brilliant in their own respective rides. They all have their own little quirks about them. It is great fun filming with them. I've always had a laugh with them. I filmed with Scouse Trainspotter more times than I have KTV. This is down to the fact that I've spent more time up and around sort of Scouse's area. Obviously I've spent a lot of time around Liverpool. He came with me to Stafford, likewise to KTV, and also when I went to Stafford as well. But I enjoy filming with them both. They're both very, very good filmmakers in their own respective rights. They do some fantastic films, some of which put my own to shame, it must be said. They have done a better job than I have at quite a few places. So, yeah. But I do enjoy filming with them. And if I had any tips for someone wanting to start off like I did, when I first started about 2 years ago, I was very nervous about everything. You can tell the way I presented everything. I was very unsure as to what I was doing, and I tried to sort of make up little jokes as I went along. But my best advice would be just go out there, get a camera, get a tablet, whatever you want to do. Go out there and just film. You can do what I do commentary. People say that the best form of flattery is through people doing what you do. And I know that, from what other people have told me, that I've inspired a few people, if you know what I mean, to do filming and commentary as well. So I do take it as a form of flattery when I see people doing what I do and using my style of filming. I know some people can get a little bit touchy about it, but I don't mind. As long as you don't blatantly copy what I do, and you add your own little unique flair to it, then yeah, go for it. I'll support you the entire way, because I've been there. I've got the t-shirt. Okay, Shelby324YT, and I like this. Hashtag AskTornado922. I like that. It's very good. What would your hobby be at the moment if you didn't like trains and railways? It would be motorsports. Well, I've got several different hobbies. My big one's obviously trains. But if trains weren't in my life, it would be motorsports, rugby, which I used to play religiously, and cricket, which I again also used to play. UK Trainspotter 1. Top 5 stations and why? Difficult. Probably top 5, not in any particular order, because it's a difficult one, but I'll go with Gatwick Airport, York, Doncaster, Manchester Piccadilly, and somewhere else. Probably Clapham Junction, to be fair. That's my top 5. Reasons being that they're all fantastic in their own unique ways. Their station layouts, the variety of services that you get, the people that you meet there as well. It's all very well and good. Probably Gatwick Airport's in there, maybe because of the variety there. I'd never filmed there before, and I sort of was getting into the whole filming planes. I just don't do that. As you know, I film trains, and that's a bit of a hoo-ha at the best of times. Trying to get planes in there is like a Boeing 747, a Boeing 737, a Boeing 8 787 300 billion series thing. Yeah. I can tell you it's either... I can tell the big ones, but That's about it. But yeah, it's a bit of a vague answer, I'm sorry, but that's really as best as I can go for that one. Right, Benz, trains and planes. What type of tablet do you film with? Or if it's not a tablet, then what do you film with? Great videos, by the way. Well, thank you very much for saying so. I film with two tablets, one being a Samsung Galaxy Tab E. The E is the black one that I had when I did one of my question-answer videos, or my station plan, one of the two I showed you. That one, higher resolution camera, I use that to film my journeys. Now, I've not really filmed any journeys recently. It's not that I don't like them, I do, but there's no journeys currently that I've been on to my various places I want to really film. It may change. The other one is the Samsung Galaxy Tab 4. I'm not too sure if that's correct, but that's what I'm filming on now, and that's my universal tablet that I use for filming my trains at. Right, right, here we go. X Dun Teen Ho 2016. What is the worst train station you've been to? Seven Sisters. Primarily because the staff were just so rude. At the time it was run by Abellio Greater Anglia. Customer service is just appalling. I've never experienced anything like that before. Everywhere else has been fine, but there... No. Ted Lishman. Will you be going to Wales in the near future? Yes. Now, I was going to go to Chester on my West Coast Main Line series. Unfortunately, when I wanted to go, Virgin Trains had stopped their direct services for a couple of days, and I don't know why. That's why I filmed at Milton Keynes Central. Now, I will go to Chester again, hopefully. Shrewsbury, I'd like to go there. And Cardiff Central, because Cardiff looks like a complete madhouse. Granted, I'm going to be seeing places, but we make do. Right, Jacob Tunson. When are you back to the East Coast Main Line? I don't know. As it currently stands, I'm still doing my West Coast Main Line series. I'm currently in and around the Birmingham area. If I do go back to East Coast Main Line once I've finished my West Coast Main Line series, then it will most likely be Peterborough. I may go back to Doncaster, but yeah, it's a bit it's on the fence. Thomas Shaw. What's your favourite kind of sprinter and electric locomotive? Well, the Sprinter, 158 probably. It's just, I don't know, it's quirky. It looks nice, it's got a nice interior, it sounds nice, it's comfortable to travel on. An electric locomotive? Well, I'd have to say, I'll have to go with one's currently running. I'd have to say the 86. I can't really explain. There's just something nice about seeing the 86. There's something nice about seeing the old, proper British Rail workhorses still going at it. Okay, granted, they're hauling small intermodal trains. Yes, I'd love to see old 86s on the push-pull sets. But ho-hum, we can't win everything. If I had my way, then I'd have Pendolinos running, obviously. They're beautiful. And I'd have 86s and 87s running with the Mark II DVT. Mark II or Mark III? Mark III, sorry. Mark III DVT. The Mark IVs are running on the East Coast Main Line. Get it right. Warrington Train Spotter 2778. What's your least favourite spotting location you have been to and why? Well, again, Seven Sisters, because of the staff there. They're just completely rude. Some of the tracks and locations I've been to, well, pretty much all of them, they've been good. Some of the stations I've been to, it's just been a bit too quiet and they look a bit tacky. Not all, just a couple, and yeah, you try and... I think I go to every station and I go... I don't expect to be amazed at every station. I know it's not going to happen. I know there's some stations out there that are just complete dumps. I know there is, and other stations are completely wow, how have I not been here before? But I always go with an open mind and go, okay, somewhere new, let's see what happens. Jack J3000, when are you going to Bridgewater in Somerset? I have no idea. I will go, but just please be patient. West Coast Rail, what is your favourite train operating company, e.g. mine's Virgin Trains West Coast? Difficult. Because each independent train operating company has its own pros and cons. Some are cheap and offer reliable services, others are expensive and offer reliable services. So, I don't know. I'd probably have to say Virgin Trains West Coast, primarily because I travelled with them more than any other train operating company. It's probably them and London Midland that I've travelled with the most. But Virgin Trains West Coast have always offered me the best customer service, and I travel on their Pendolinos quite religiously. So yeah, that's probably that one, to be fair. Southwest Train Spotter, what line are you doing after West Coast Main Line? If you mean what series am I doing after the West Coast Main Line, it'll be the Chiltern Main Line. Cam Vlogs, do you like football? If so, favourite team, but if not, suggest why. I do like football, but not religiously. I'm much more into rugby and motorsports. My football team is Manchester United. I'm prepared for the hate mail. Send it my way. I don't follow them religiously, but if I've got some spare time and they're playing, then I'll happily watch them. But I'm not an avid fan. Nathan Holmes, are you ever going to go to Glasgow Central or stations in the surrounding area of Glasgow? Yes, I will go to Glasgow Central, but I don't know when. Lewis Emergency and Transport. Most preferred train company, Virgin Trains West Coast. Somerset Train Spotting. What is your favourite diesel locomotive or electric locomotive? What is your favourite steam locomotive? What is your favourite DMU or EMU? Ugh. Christ. Well, I've obviously said favourite electric locomotive. That's the 86. Diesel. I'm torn between three. I'm going to ask for permission, oh greatness, to be... yeah, don't ask. For three. The 37, the 68, and the 70. I'm sure you can all work out why, because they are beautiful. What is your favourite DMU or EMU? Well, DMU... it's probably the 158. Or 185, actually. 185s are quite nice. I don't know, I've never really thought of having a favourite DMU. EMU is the 321, that's a given. There's something different about them. They just have a sense of character that no other EMU has managed to capture. IXL Revolution, what is your favourite railway? Again, probably it's a difficult one, but I'd have to say the West Coast Main Line because of the variety you get. But on the flip side, the East Coast Main Line, north of Berwick upon Tweed, between there and Edinburgh Waverley, is beautiful. So it's a fine balance, but the West Coast Main Line is probably just a little bit above. Right, Francis Lawson, what is your favourite / least favourite operator? Well, my least favourite is Abellio Greater Anglia, purely because of their customer service that I've experienced through them. Not their entire company is probably not that bad. I granted their entire company is probably fantastic, but from a customer service perspective, Abellio Greater Anglia is probably at the bottom. It's not all been bad. Don't get me wrong. I've had some fantastic times with Abellio Greater Anglia, but sometimes their customer service towards me hasn't been all that way. Favourite is Virgin Trains East Coast because their staff are just like they're on another level. Like the train guards, when they're doing some of the announcements, they're so enthusiastic about everything they do. It is brilliant. Like, I can't fault them. And if their service is delayed, they've got this sort of like you claim for delay thing. That must cost them a fortune if their train's delayed. And fair play to them for doing it, because not all train operating companies want to do that sort of thing. So yeah, Virgin Trains East Coast is right up there because they've got the best customer service going. And I'm sorry about Greater Anglia, but your customer service, it needs working. But I don't wish to sound rude, but from my own experiences, yeah, I'm sorry. HST William 2015. When are you doing Wakefield Westgate again? Good question. Answer is I don't know. Probably when I go to Leeds. When I go to Leeds, I'll happily go to Wakefield Westgate because I did enjoy there. It's a nice station. The layout's different, but yeah, I like it. That nearly done the wrong goal. Here's one. Robert Plimfold, do you enjoy chicken in a basket? Well, yes, if it's with chips. If it's not with chips, no. That train guy, how badly do you dislike Pacers? I'll be the man with a blowtorch to dismantle the things. The Freight Dude 1000, have you ever received the Iklimor Batat by a Class 290 or 43 VTEC? No. Never. I've had it once from a London Midland 172 when I was at Birmingham Moor Street, but that's it. And to be fair, I don't actually tend to ask for tones that much, to be fair. I mean, when I'm filming, I wave at the drivers just to sort of show my recognition towards them, and sometimes they wave back, other times they give me tones. But I don't really tend to actively go out my way to get, to be fair. But it's nice when I do. The OG Hood Rat. At Tornado 92, will you have my babies? I'll get back to you on that. Right, here we go. Pronunciation fail. T. Sanjpur Gorge? Ooh. Have you thought about purchasing a camera that can film at 60 frames per second? The footage would be much smoother, which definitely helps when filming fast-moving objects like trains. Yes, I have thought about it on several occasions, but my style of filming it is through a tablet. And loads of people seem to enjoy it, and I enjoy it because it's something different. Because obviously you see people there with their high-tech gadgets and their tripods. And I know like this. I'm like, hello, I've got a tablet, all is well, yeah. And when I started off, I used to hold it like this, so you can see it'd be quite shaky. But if I'm holding it, because this tablet is quite large, so if I'm holding it essentially like this, really, obviously it's probably something different, but it's that similar style. So I've got more stability over it. So sometimes when I'm filming, I can just move my hand up, so I can hold it essentially with one hand, wave to the driver, move it back down again, happy days. But yeah, I have thought about using a proper camera, but I think my style of filming probably suits a tablet more, if you understand what I mean. The Crazy Pancake, if you had to use one train for the rest of your life, what would it be and why? It's probably the 373 Eurostar. They look absolutely gorgeous, they sound absolutely gorgeous, and they're just fun to be in. Sorry, 321s, but you have to be on the sideline for that one. Manning plays, hashtag AskTornado922. I like it. What do you prefer, type of train, electric or diesel? Well, it depends really, because obviously electric trains clean up the environment, so yeah, you know, good on them. But some of them are just hideous. Diesels, you can get some really nice designs, like the like the 220s and the 221 Super Voyagers. You've got the 170 Turbo Stars, 158s, 185s, 68s, 37s, 70s, 66. Electrics, you've got the 91s, the 92s, the 90s, the 86, the 87s, the 88. That's coming out soon. 88 coming out soon. 68 even. 68? 68? Yeah, it's the 88. Yeah. It's a 68 hybrid. But yeah, it's I don't know. I don't really have a preference, to be fair, because they all have their own special preference. Obviously, with electric, the HST. I mean, come on. You can't get better than HST. If anyone says otherwise, yeah, you've got the finger. Type 40. Are you into planes as well? And are you going to the DRS Open Day in Crewe? I'm into planes, but nowhere near as much as I'm into trains. I mean, I have got no qualms in going to airports and filming planes. Unfortunately, I wouldn't sort of expect like the whole, you know, runway 22 left, Romeo Delta, Foxtrot, Juliet, phonetic alphabet type deal. If I were to film planes, the best you get from me is their company. I couldn't tell you if it's a Boeing or an obviously like 747s, 737s, 800 series, Airbus A380s, A320s, and various other bits like that. I can tell you, but your smaller ones, I wouldn't be able to say it. So I'll more be able to go. And here goes Delta Airlines, United Airlines, Emirates Airlines, Etihad Airways. That's as far as my plane knowledge goes. As for the open day, I don't know. If it's a weekend, then I'm afraid not. in all honesty. Jack Alcott, how did you get into trains? Now this is a good question. So if you want to learn about my history, then please, stay tuned. If not, skip forward a couple of minutes, or however long it takes me to do this. It started off in the 1990s. My grandparents lived next to the West Coast Main Line at Leighton Buzzard. So every summer I would go round there while my mum was at work. Now obviously me being like about that big, I saw trains passing by every day, and the more I watched them, the more I was sort of getting into them. I thought, oh, I like trains, they look quite interesting. And obviously back then we had Network Southeast and Intercity running, with the Valenta HSTs, the 86 and the 90s running with the Mark IIs and Mark III sets respectively. And obviously Network Southeast with the 321s. And obviously the various freight from rail freight, and then obviously soon to become Freightliner. So I was sort of getting more and more into them, to be fair. And then one day I was standing on the platform and an LMS coloured steam locomotive came flying through on a charter. And from then it just took me. I was hooked from then, and obviously I was introduced to the likes of Thomas the Tank Engine and various other bits like that. And it really sort of just kicked off, and I've been crazy about trains ever since, and I'm always going to be. It's going to be a hobby that's going to be stuck with me for the rest of my life. And it's never going to change. I'm always going to be filming. I'm always going to go to model railway exhibitions. So yeah, that's how it started. Zed Schurl. Have you ever thought of recording Steam's Heritage Railways as some sort of series, or don't they interest you? No, Steam and Heritage Railways, I love them. And Gala Weekends, I love them to pieces. I always watch other people's videos from Gala Weekends. Specifically, Home Movie Person and Mr. Delta 15. Obviously, if you guys happen to do Heritage Railways, like galas and stuff like that, and I see your videos, and I do watch them. But as two examples, those two I tend to watch mostly. I would do a series. I don't know, it'd be difficult, to be fair. I wouldn't do a series per se. I'd probably just go there and film the weekend. So obviously you get the various locomotives that I'm running one day, working the next, vice versa. If I were to choose a line to do it on, or two, it would probably be the Nan Valley Railway and the Severn Valley Railway and the North Yorkshire Moors. Primarily because they're the only three that I've actually been on. I've been in the one at Didcot Parkway, it doesn't quite count. The Bluebell Railway, I'd like to go there. The Somerset Railway, North Norfolk Railway, I'd love to go to those ones. So yeah. Tim Butterworth, are you planning a trip to Norton Bridge flyover near Stafford? Quality videos as usual. Well, again, thank you kindly. Very nice of you to say so. I will go there. Obviously, I've missed it now, so I've gone through and past Stafford. I'm into Birmingham at this current stage. I'd like to go there. If there is somewhere that I can actually stand and get a decent vantage point of the actual main West Coast line passing underneath the Norton Bridge flyover, then drop me a line and I'll see what I can do, because I was actually going to try and film at Hemmy's Farm, but that didn't happen. Right, MGS December 1990. Do you watch Everard Junction, Dave Class 47 and Intercity 82's channels? Everard Junction and Dave Class 47, yes, I watch their Model Railway House. It's fantastic. I mean, the dedication and time and money alone to go into this sort of things. I mean, hats off to you boys. You've got some fantastic layouts going there, and the way you texture everything and the weathering on your railways and the trains, it's brilliant, absolutely fantastic. Intercity 82, I've never watched any videos from his or her channel, but there's no harm in having a look, is there? You know, just pop open a browser and go, ooh. Gavin Smith, what is the line speed limit on the West Coast Main Line? It's 125 miles an hour. Railfan2899, how do you ask for horns and what action do you do? Well, the universal sign is this. So that's like, you know, pulling the cord on a steam train. So that's, a lot of people do that to try and get tones. I don't I literally stand there and I just do this, sort of hand up to them, just saying sort of hello, how, like, I'm sort of acknowledging their existence. And sometimes they give me tones in return, sometimes they wave. So that's what I do. Enotetic. Where's the best train journey you have been on? Newcastle to, well, Edinburgh Waverley to Newcastle Central, primarily because you go along the east coast of England, and the scenery, it's just out of this world, out of this world. But that's in the UK. Overall, it was from Munich to the Brenner Pass. Now that is a journey. Because the mountains and the Brenner Pass alone, my God, if any of you ever just get some spare change, I highly recommend that you get a train from Munich and you travel along through Austria into the Italian border through the Brenner Pass. You will not be disappointed, I'm telling you that now. Kieran Iverson, out of all your videos you have filmed out, what has been one standout moment for you? That is a very good question. It's a difficult one at the same time. It's probably filming that three-parter at Stafford when I had Scouse Transport 1999, KTV videos, Transfan UK, and everybody else at LC KTV, Rob's Transport, and Scott Rail as well, and everybody else that joined me that day. That was fantastic. I had such a laugh, and I would be more than happy to meet up with them all again. They're a good bunch of lads. I can't fault them. The Duck 3000. I'm loving the name. And your Ryanair picture. What station would you most want to visit and why? I don't know, it's difficult because obviously I visit all the big stations every single year, so they're always covered. But probably Carlisle or Glasgow Central, just because I've never been there before, and all the videos that I've seen from there, you seem to get like a nice mixture of everything. It would keep me busy. Kasabian Fan 44. If you were forced to film at one station for 1 month non-stop, what would the station be? One station non-stop. That's a good question. What would I go to? I'd have to say Stafford, because of the plethora of variety you get. Obviously the passenger trains stay the same, but if you pick your days right, the freight is out of this world. So yeah, that's why I do that. Stephen Stamen, how long have you been train spotting? Well, filming wise, I've done this for about 2 years, but I've been train spotting since I was about 3 or 4 years old. Pretty much as I can remember, I've been fascinated by trains, and I've always sort of just watched them on stations. Trainspot 11, what is your favourite video you have watched on my channel and why? Interesting question. It's probably, I can't remember the exact one, but it was one of the ones at Tring. You got an amazing variety of different traction. I think you had a DB Cargo UK 90 hauling some Royal Mail 325s. I think that was it. Christian Harding, have Bash EST Midland HST. Have I ever bashed East Midlands Trains HST? Yes, from Market Harborough to Nottingham, and that was when I first. That's one of my first videos. Yeah. Thomas Norton, do you think the ongoing electrification of the Blyndon Main Line and Great Western Main Line is good, so better for the environment, or bad? Spoils the scenery. Well, okay, yes, good for the environment. Obviously, diesel obviously pollutes the environment. Electric, it obviously doesn't, but obviously you've got the transformers and the substations to generate electricity. Spoils the scenery. The catenary, yes. unless you try and make the catenary sort of suit the environment. So, for argument's sake, in and around the sort of the Bath area, when you've got it passing through like the old wall with the gardens on the side, if you have it like the catenary matching the area so that it curves around and it's all oldie-woldy, then yeah, it would work. But yeah, overall, I think it's nice that they're finally catching up with the times. Obviously, the West Coast Main Line was done first. The budget went East Coast Main Line, bang. Great Western Main Line, guess what? Bang. Midland Main Line, we haven't actually heard that much of the Midland Main Line. Obviously, as we know, it's electrified from St Pancras to Bedford, and I think they want to run it up to Nottingham, and then go from there. But we've not really heard that much from them. We know the Midland Main Line wires have been paused due to the financial balls up they've made with the Great Western Main Line. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm sure we'll hear more from it. And obviously, you've got High Speed 2 in the works as well. So, well, yeah. Ash behind the camera, what is your favourite train? Again, it depends on their use. Commuter, 321, Express, HST, Freight, probably the 70 or 37, and Internationals, probably the 373 Eurostar. When are you going to do Penzance from AB Trains? I don't know. The problem is, I live in the Midlands, so you can appreciate Penzance is a long way away from me. I would like to go there, but I don't know when it would be. With that one again, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to be patient. People keep asking me to film at Dawlish as well, and yes, I will get around to filming at Dawlish. I promise I will film there, but just please be patient. It is a long way away from me, and obviously it's a case of trying to find the correct services to get as well without potentially missing anything. I can always drive down there, but again, you're looking at maybe a 4-hour, 5-hour drive. So, and I don't want to go down there if the weather's going to be absolutely terrible. So it's a double-edged sword really, but I will go down there at some stage, but you will have to just be as patient as possible. That's all I can ask of you. Right, Paul Johnson. Hi, I have 3 questions for you. 1, I do like your videos and you have over 1,800. Nice, and it wasn't really a question, but thank you very much. 2, what trains do you not like? And number 3, why do you hate Pacers? They are keeping the Class 144s, not the Class 142s, and there's nothing wrong with the Pacers. There's everything wrong with the Pacers. They're made from the old British Leyland bus, and they were made as a quick escape for British Rail, just to British Rail made them just to sort of close a gap before they got more, like the sprinters came into effect. And unfortunately, the Pacers are just stuck with us. They're horribly uncomfortable to be with. They've got woeful protection. The noise is unbearable. And from my own experience, when you're actually setting off and the driver gives it beans, it vibrates so much. It's just not a comfortable ride. When you're bouncing over it, it's old bus seats. It's an old Leyland bus, just whacked on a train's bogie. So they're not designed to last any longer, and because they can't meet the Disability Act coming out in a couple of years' time, I think it's 2017, they're being scrapped, thank God. Because they don't even look that nice, to be fair. They're just, I know that I'm supposed to like all trains, but Pacers are the exception. They just don't do anything for me. They just look tragic, and you can say they're very old dated. I mean, when you look at the rest of the railway networks around Europe, you see the trains that they run, and then you look at the British network and you think, we are so far behind. So we obviously got the E320s, the new Eurostars, and we also got the Pendolinos that look absolutely spectacular, and obviously the 395 Javelins. But you can see everything else is being sort of hand-me-downs. Like you look at Kabir Thamesink, London Midland are getting their 319s. Great Western Railway are getting their 387s. Like, Bombardier could make new trains, but they're just coming along. So we're not really making any progress in our transport system. We're sort of just taking a back seat. I mean, you look at, not that I'm complaining here, but you look at the 37s. They're restoring so many of them for mainline use. Yeah, okay, that's a good thing because they're gorgeous sounding things. But with the 68s, obviously we're getting new locomotives coming in, and obviously CAF have won the contract for Northern to build more trains. But yeah, we're not really catching up with everything. And the other thing, what trains I don't like, it's the other 139. It's the people power movement. That is just, it's, I don't know. It's like, who made that? Why would you do it? Right, Matt Eads. Ever caught in a river on the Cambrian coast? Onwards, it's amazing. I've never been on the Cambrian coastline, so I can't really say. Kasabian Fan 44, do you have a favourite franchise holder company? E.g. First Group, Arriva, Abellio, etc. I'll probably say Virgin because they do so much more. I mean, obviously, Abellio have won the contract with the First ScotRail franchise. That's like, I think it's a 10-year deal worth a couple of billion. So fair play to Abellio for doing it. First Group, yeah. I know they want to take up. They're bidding for the Anglian franchise. So I don't know if Abellio are going to try and keep it. But I know First Group are going to try and take the East Anglian franchise. Right, Geometry Gaming HD, hashtag Arsenal92. Is the new Class 800 coming in 2018, going from the East Coast Main Line and West Coast Main Line? It's going to run on the East Coast Main Line. The West Coast Main Line, we're getting no new traffic. The East Coast Main Line is coming in to replace a handful of the 91s. I don't think all the HSTs are going. I'm not sure on that one. But I know that they're keeping VTEC are keeping some of the 225 sets for their Anglo-Scottish runs. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think some of the 91s are going to either the Great Eastern Main Line or the Midland Main Line for when it completes its electrification. Because it would be a shame to get rid of those trains because they still function brilliantly as express trains. Dylan's World 1. What station in the world would you like to film at? I don't know. That's a difficult one. Because there are so many stations that I'd like to go to that I haven't been to yet. You got Gare du Nord, Gare de Lyon, Berlin, Munich. There's so many stations. I genuinely can't answer that because there are so many stations that I'd like to go to that I've not been to yet. What do you think of the High Speed 2 project? I think it's fantastic. I think there's been too much fuss kicked up about it. It's going to benefit this country greatly, and I think people keep overlooking that thing. It's going to destroy the environment. It's not, because if you look at the building plans for it, they're working out ways to make it better. 3. If you could create any new train projects in the UK, what would it be? I'm not too sure what you mean. If train projects you mean new trains or services, I'll probably say I'd make new trains for the... Well, I'd make new trains for the Northern Company, but CF are doing that. New train projects. I'd probably have... I'd maybe have Great Western Railway HST services going from, say... Probably one train every hour from Bristol Temple Meads to Milton Keynes Central. Be different. Neil Stewart, can you get quicker than a quick fit fitter? I have no idea, you probably can. Empty Channel, what do you think of the fact that the yellow ends on trains is no longer necessary in the UK? Which trains do you think would look good without a yellow end? You see, that's a difficult question because I'm so accustomed to seeing every single train in the UK with a yellow front. So, I can't really say. I think they would all look daft without it myself. I mean, obviously, we're going to see trains without it soon. But I can't say because I'm so accustomed to seeing them with yellow ends. Jordan Knight, one time I was at Northampton Station and was asked by a member of staff to stop filming because I needed permission. So my question is, what is the worst station you've encountered so far for the staff being rude? Again, Seven Sisters. But I'm surprised that you were told Northampton, because I've filmed there once before, and I will be filming there again. So I imagine if you film at stations, my advice is this: if you're going to film at stations, just let the staff know what you're doing beforehand. Just say to them, "Look, I'm coming to do a bit of train spotting. I'll be at this particular part of the station, out of everybody's way," and they're normally fine. Josh Durello, what is your favourite freight train class, and also can you do the South West Main Line? Favourite freight train class is probably the class 70. Can I do the South West Main Line? Yes, I can at some stage. Transport 5000, what are your 5 top stations? As I said, York, Doncaster, York, Doncaster, Manchester Piccadilly, Clapham Junction, and Gatwick Airport, I think. The Great Eastern Transporter, what is your favourite Abellio Greater Anglia train? It's probably the 321s, to be fair, because they've kept them in sort of multiple different liveries. What is your favourite train on the Abellio Greater Anglia, Class 360 or Class 321 Dusty Bin? 321! NMG HD, what do you think less, 444 or 450? 450. They just, I don't know. The 5-car variants, the 444s are good, but the 450s, they just do it for me. Jackass, do you also like buses, and if so, what models do you like the best? I'm not keen on buses, I'm afraid. They just don't do it for me. Right, I'm going to have to leave it there, because I'm running out of time. So, this is part 1 of my Q&A. But thank you all very much for giving me the questions so far. My next one is going to be following on from this immediately afterwards. So, yep. So apologies for not getting around to the other questions, but they will be in the next video that I do. So please stay tuned, just keep an eye out for it. And if you have any questions about this particular video, then just drop them down and I'll answer them as best as humanly possible. So yes, right. Take care, guys. Goodbye.